Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev is next.
Dricus Khamzat is a pretty big fight that you guys can put on right now.
Yeah.
I would give DDP the advantage over Khamzat right now.
Khamzat Chimaev. Did he do enough in that fight against Robert Whitaker, who I thought looked incredible, to get the title fight against Dricus?
Yeah, he looked incredible. There's no doubt about it. He is deserving of a title shot.
I think he beats both of them. I do. I think Dricus would be the harder opponent of Sean and him, just because if Dricus survives, Dricus is just good at surviving.
Dana White has confirmed it. Khamzat Chimaev will face Dricus Du Plessis in a high-stakes showdown. 2 warriors, 1 cage, and a fight that could shake up the division. Joe Rogan predicts it will be the most brutal battle of their careers.
Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev is next. Yeah.
That's
Before
fun.
the fight, though.
I wonder where that is. That's got to be Vegas, right?
Khamzat? No, that's going to be in Saudi Arabia.
You think so? I think he's got a UAE passport now. I think he gets
maybe
into
and then
America.
Trump, yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets to America now. I mean, it's not like Shara Bullet, probably never going to fight in America. You can't let a one-eyed fighter.
Yeah, you can't have one-eyed fighter.
Apparently, the UAE is having a problem with it too.
When it comes to analyzing fighters, Joe Rogan always keeps it real. Discussing Khamzat Chimaev, he breaks down Chimaev's relentless seek-and-destroy fighting style. However, Rogan believes it needs fine-tuning, especially against
A lot about Khamzat. We know that, first of all, that style, that seek and destroy, throw yourself into the fire style, it needs a little tweaking if you're going to fight Usman. It needs a little tweaking.
Guys,
yeah, you're not going to just steamroll everybody because he went through 4 fights in the UFC and was only hit twice. I mean, of course the guy's confident.
Yeah,
of
incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
he said his right hand breaks mountains.
Joe Rogan has praised Khamzat Chimaev for his power, aggression, and fight IQ, calling him the smartest fighter in the UFC today.
Snoop, the word is he's even better than you've seen. The word is by people who train with him, they're like, dude, he is a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature. He's really smart. He knows what to do. He's got sick timing. He's just like, he's got a super genius fight mindset. Like you watch him fight, he doesn't make any mistakes. He's had, I think he's had 3 or 4 fights in the UFC. He's only been hit twice.
He's that defensive?
He's just a swarm.
Wow.
He's just a swarm.
Meanwhile, American mixed martial artist Din Thomas believes Khamzat Chimaev would struggle against UFC middleweight champion Dricus Du Plessis. Du Plessis retained his title by defeating Sean Strickland for the 2nd time in the UFC 312 main event at Kudos Banker.
We've seen this with Khamzat, slowing down after the first round and a half. And I think that is because he uses so much power. He has the wrestling technique, of course, but he uses his strength as a weapon. And in this case, he has a gun and I have a tank when it comes to the strength. And we've seen him fading in fights. So stylistically, I think, especially the opening rounds, the first 2 rounds, it's going to be fireworks. I think it's going to be two absolute warriors in there, 2 bulls, and seeing who backs down first. But once it goes past round 2, if it goes past round 2, it's going to be a smooth sailing.
Dricus Du Plessis is confident in his chances against Khamzat Chimaev, acknowledging a tough opening round, but believing the undefeated contender will struggle as the fight progresses. Meanwhile, UFC superstar Chimaev continues making waves, earning praise from legends like Mike Tyson, who recognizes his power and relentless fighting style, solidifying his reputation as
Khamzat Chimaev. Okay. Colby Covington calls him cum shot. It's very rude.
Remember?
Does it say that, yo? He calls him what?
He calls him cum shot.
And Adesanya, he said that too on the show.
He has some issues that he looks like a nice guy, but he's kind of psychopathic.
No, he's a full psychopath.
In a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Dricus Du Plessis was asked whether he agreed with UFC analyst Din Thomas' remarks about the reigning champion overpowering Khamzat Chimaev as their potential fight extends into the championship rounds. Du Plessis sided with Thomas, asserting that while Chimaev's aggression makes him dangerous early in a fight, he would struggle to maintain that intensity over 5 rounds. Chimaev is really hard to deal with in the beginning of the fight, but so am I, Du Plessis said. When you go that hard, by rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5, you still have to be there. And I've proven that I am. If he wants to come out strong, I'm still going to be there, just like I was in the first round, ready to kill. When asked about Chimaev's intimidating presence before a fight, Du Plessis pointed to the undefeated contender's past UFC bouts against Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, both of whom performed admirably despite Chimaev's aggressive approach. If you look at a guy like Kamaru Usman and what he did against Chimaev on 10 days' notice, or Gilbert Burns, those guys didn't get intimidated by someone screaming, "I smash, I smash." That's not how it works. Du Plessis and Chimaev are expected to face off after securing dominant victories over Sean Strickland and Robert Whittaker at UFC 312 and UFC 308, respectively. Backing Du Plessis to win, Din Thomas elaborated on why he believes Chimaev will struggle. "I think Khamzat is a sprinter. You can't fight championship-level fights for 5 rounds at the pace where he's at his best. If he fights like that, Dricus is so durable and smart that he'll withstand it. Then they're swimming in deep water, and Khamzat can't swim that deep. Even if he paces himself better, Dricus will just pour it on him." Dana White has confirmed Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis. Chimaev is going all out in training camp to make a statement. Known for his relentless wrestling, pressure, and power, he's sharpening every aspect of his game to challenge the South African champion. On the other hand, Dricus Du Plessis is known for his unconventional and often surprising training methods, setting him apart from many UFC fighters. His regimen focuses on maximizing endurance, explosiveness, and unorthodox conditioning techniques that frequently leave fans and analysts impressed.
Dricus Du Plessis' coach uses a cattle prod in practice and zaps athletes that are doing a technique wrong. The gym business is a very difficult one. And now you involve electrocution. And I'm just wondering, do I believe that that happened? Do I believe that that's real? Do I believe that that wasn't just somehow theatrics for television? I don't know from a marketing standpoint, just conceptually, if you could get anybody to walk through that door. "Hey guys, I want to train here. Hey, I want to come in here. I heard you do great things. I heard you produce UFC champions. I heard you shock people with..."
A standout aspect of his training is his unorthodox breathing techniques, which he claims enhance stamina and improve his ability to absorb strikes. Joe Rogan initially believed Robert Whittaker's speed and movement would trouble Dricus Du Plessis, but DDP shut that down completely. Now, as Khamzat Chimaev prepares to face Du Plessis, Rogan analyzes key factors: wrestling, endurance, and potential.
I thought Robert Whittaker was going to give him problems with that style. I really did. I thought Robert Whittaker, with his leaping in style, and he's like very light on his feet, fast as shit. I thought he was going to give him problems, and DDP shut that shit down.
I would give DDP the advantage over Khamzat right now.
Styles make fights, and you never seen Dricus fight. Good wrestler, and Khamzat's one of the best.
You got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut for Khamzat. It's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
He gassed out against Usman. That was at 85.
Usman's a world champion. In the third round, Usman did what a world champion does. He rallied. And then Usman's dangerous.
Joe Rogan admitted that while he sees Dricus Du Plessis having the advantage right now, Khamzat Chimaev remains a wild card. Chimaev shoots from 15 feet away, grabbing opponents like a nightmare, but he struggled to do so against Kamaru Usman. And
I would give DDP the advantage over Khamzat right now. Not to bet on it.
It's hard to say because we don't know what happens.
There's so many question marks. We don't know.
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your
But
legs.
I look
so
at the Kamaru. He didn't do that to Kamaru Usman. He didn't do it to Gilbert Burns. We go in the third, fourth, and fifth.
He gave Usman for the first 3 rounds a nightmare. He was
he gassed
taking
out,
him down.
but he couldn't finish him. That's
true.
an older Usman.
That's true.
That's not a vintage Usman.
At the UFC 312 pre-fight press conference, Dana White announced that the winner of Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland, too, would face Khamzat Chimaev next. Chimaev is coming off a dominant first-round submission win over Robert Whittaker, making this an expected decision, as most fans believe he deserves the next title shot. However, there was some uncertainty due to Nassourdine Imavov's huge knockout victory over Israel Adesanya. Those doubts can now be put to rest. From a fan perspective, Chimaev is favored to win against either Du Plessis or Strickland, as many believe his elite grappling makes him nearly unstoppable. Despite the official announcement being made just this morning, one of these fighters already expected Chimaev to be next in line. Online, Strickland and Chimaev have been trading heated words.
Do we have a message for Khamzat Chimaev?
A message? No. I mean, I'll see you when I see you. I hope we can make it in International Fight Week, a big one. I think he tweeted something. He actually tweeted, because when his tweets make sense, it's his agent, and when it's just like random English words in a certain, it's him. And he said, "This fight